How many times does your wife have to tell you to do something? I think you stated this earlier.
You said how many times
Like,
she had to
is
tell me?
it to do something? You may forget it. It might fall by the wayside, but more than likely, a husband. And then if you want to be in a long term relationship, not to say that it's a good thing, but you probably will get have to get used to repeating yourself. Then if you have children, you really gonna get used. You're gonna have to get used to repeating yourself. So you're gonna get a lot of practice there. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, like I said earlier, men's mind are at and where our minds are at are different. Now I agree. You telling somebody to do something over and over and over again, and you're doing it in a polite way, or you're doing it in a way where they can understand. They're not getting mad, whatever. But at the same time, we just don't operate the same way. And I think that if most people would admit it, whether it be on the panel or in the chat, most people have trouble asking for help.
Mhm.
So because you have trouble asking for help, you don't know how to ask for help. When you don't ask for help, then your needs go unmet. Then you're reacting out of a trauma response because we talked about it earlier. Most kids were the help. You know what I mean? They were more than the help, but you're the help in the house. And so you're not really getting your needs met because you're being told to do this, you got to go to school, you got to get great grades, and your parents expect you to be a certain way, especially the older generation, right? Because they didn't talk about anything, they just had to do. They just had to do. And so that's how a lot of parents teach their children. You just have to do. They have this authoritative parenting style. So the children don't ask for help because they are the help, and they feel as though if I ask for help, then that's going to make it seem like I'm inadequate, or I need attention, or I'm the troublemaker, or whatever. A lot of kids don't say I'm struggling with this, I need help. They just react or they show out in their behavior. And I'm sure that Stacey O can probably, I've been in the school system too. You see children that actually need help that don't know how to ask for help. And then you become an adult, and asking someone for help is, you damn near never do it. And then when you do it, it comes out in a way where the person that you're asking for help, because it's a frustration now, is coming out like, well, why can't you do this? I've asked you a million times, and maybe their needs are not getting met because they don't know how to ask you to meet their needs. So I think it could be a number of things, but a lot of people just don't know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
I
Was
want
trying
to
to
answer.
say this all the way at the beginning with Stacey up. So I agree with your point about you got to come back to that conversation and discuss it, right? The one of the main reasons for that pause and me not saying nothing and not responding is I believe that you should not react out of anger when you're speaking to somebody that you love. So sometimes you have to take a step back and allow yourself to just woosah kind of and be like, because I felt that was extremely disrespectful, as opposed to me yelling at you or saying all this out of the XYZ. I'm just gonna take a minute, and then I don't just believe in communication. I believe in clarification, right? So
Mm.
we need to get to the point that you can tell me back what I'm saying to you, so I understand that you understand what I'm trying to say,
That is
and
definitely,
then move forward.
yes, I love that. I utilize
And I
that a lot.
and I think when you were speaking earlier about how your man made you feel secure, and you couldn't put a finger on it.
Hmm.
If I was to guess, I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. But one of the things he did was um, make you feel enough in the way that he saw you, and created a trust factor between y'all that you weren't worried about somebody interjecting with by any means and just taking him because you developed something on a I don't know if you got a religious background, but emotional, spiritual, and a communication level where you feel like y'all got each other. So all this other stuff is just y'all against the world. And by doing that, it allow you to operate in a sense of security outside of him and not worrying about all that other stuff because you trust that he got y'all best interest at heart, right?
That was well said. Very
Yeah.
well said. Thank you for articulating that. I can appreciate that. Yes, if I had to put And then I thought about a post that I put up because, like I said, he tours, and I put down like love is when his love covers me even in his absence, or when he's not physically present, it's evident that he has been. And so there's a residue of his love there. You know, there are things that he put in place, and I'm just like, well, how did he know? Or so he goes before me as well. So I really appreciate that, Marcus, for putting those words to how I feel in my relationship.
That's that Christ-like love. He omnipresent, girl. He omnipresent. It's like
I was gonna answer Precious' question as well. My wife asked me to do a lot of stuff. I'll be lying to y'all if I told y'all I did every single one of them. I'll be lying to y'all if I told y'all I did every single one of them after 4 times being asked. I would be real with you. She asked me a couple times. Sometimes she wound up doing it herself. I would say, to answer your question, it depends on how high of, if it's like a high priority family needs it done type deal, then more than likely I get to it immediately. But if it's something like, hey, can you put together my shelf, and it's just in her craft room or something like that, I might not get to that as quickly as I would get to certain other things that she asked for. And sometimes
Andrea gonna make sure you put that shelf together now. Okay, because it needs to be in the craft room now.
And the thing is that to Andrea's point, even when my wife asks me for the 3rd time, she still knows how to ask me. She doesn't get disrespectful by asking me or saying, "Are you too dumb to put together?" Or you know what I mean? I don't. Hold on, wait. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying that you said this. I'm just saying. Andre is right that, hey, look, sometimes you got to add a little more assertiveness to, you know what I mean, if you want something done that you've been asking for. Nothing wrong with that. But what we're talking about and what Marcus is talking about, he will respond to is if he's being disrespected. Mm-hmm. And maybe Andrea didn't actually say in those words that she would openly disrespect the man or something like that. Or maybe you took it differently. But yes, my wife doesn't disrespect me because I didn't do something. She knows how to come and ask me still in a way that's gonna get it done. Because if she does come at me disrespectful, I'm gonna give her the same look that Marcus will give his wife and be like, you must think you must be out your mind if you think you're gonna talk to me like that, and think I'm gonna just jump and say how high. That's not how that works. Just like I can't go to her and talk to her recklessly and think that she's just gonna, like, you know what I mean? Like, Andre, have you ever a dude ever asked you to do something, he got disrespectful? He was like, are you an airhead that you don't know how to fucking pick up or wash a dish or something like that? You will be looking at that nigga like he's crazy. They don't call
things. But all I'm saying is this: why do we feel like being? I don't know. This is just, let me just say how I'm thinking. Why do we feel like in order for a woman to be assertive or show her traits of dominance to a man, it means that she has to be disrespecting him?
I thought that's
right. So my threshold, I'm not trying to be dominated by my woman ever. Never.
Well, some men like dominated. All I'm saying is this.
No, that's fine.
Why do we feel like a woman being assertive in what she's saying and confident and aware of what it is that she wants and is asking that of you, that is disrespectful? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to result in some type of disrespectful interaction?
Wait. All right,
assertive and asking are two different things. When you use dominant, that's completely different.
Hold on, Trev. I think here's where we got our wires crossed. I didn't actually hear how you would have asked your man to wash the clothes. Marcus heard it. He said if that was said to me, so I need to ask Marcus first. How did Andrea say that she would have approached a man about washing the clothes, and how would that have been disrespectful? And then we can dive into that, because he said, because I don't
approach a man. I spoke about my thought process and how I would be feeling and what I would want to say to this person, but that's not exactly how I would say it. I said I talked to him several times about it, now I have to be more assertive because I'm thinking this is something intentional. I'm going to tell them how I feel. I'm going to say, hey, I've asked this of you several times, and I feel like you're doing this either intentionally or you're just not really taking what I'm saying seriously. I can say that and not be disrespectful, but it's starting to seem like to me that a woman being assertive, because that's all I've been saying this whole time. I've never called names. Somebody said something about your dumb this or this airhead this. I never said any of that. All I said is if I come to you as a woman and I have some assertiveness in my voice and confidence in what it is that I'm saying, why does that then become a conversation of a woman disrespecting a man because she's confident?
All right, hold on, wait. So what did you say? Because again, I missed that part. What did you say was the thoughts that were running through your head when he didn't do the laundry?
At this point, I'm not going to ask. I'm going to tell you, you need to step it up. Like, you have to, like, what is this that we're doing here? I've said it nicely. I know I'm sugarcoating it. Y'all were talking about walking around on eggshells and not making it a priority because, and I'm like, no, at some point I'm going to become frustrated. And because honestly,
well,
that's the
just that like, what were the thoughts that made Marcus say he wouldn't do it? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
like, what
I
did you
know. Honestly,
all right, Mark.
He's just a man, and like the woman said in the video, y'all don't like feeling like somebody's telling you what to do. That's really what this is about.
So Marcus, what did she say that you was like, I would not have done the because I need to know that before I can answer her question fully. What did she say that made you say I would not have answered? I would not have got up and did the laundry,
bruh.
I will be paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to the extent of she was telling me what to do. To the point of, she said when a woman, when she reiterated it, she said when a woman tries to establish her dominance, then the man has a problem with that. And the type of person I am, I 100% do have a problem with that. I will not be dominated. It's not going to happen. And it's not that it's wrong for you to dominate someone else. It just doesn't work for me. We all have different things we like about people. I am turned off and annoyed by that behavior. And I can't be in a relationship like that. It won't last with me. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong for when you do it. I'm saying specifically for me, that's something I can't. It's a non sequitur, a non-starter for me. So
yeah. That's a subset of men that would even appreciate being dominated. Like that's not normal. That's not normal. Men don't normally like to be dominated by females. And the way that you're describing you asserting yourself sounds like you want to dominate.